John Fair Innovations, bringing you more League of Legends Worlds 2021 content. We had an amazing day one where we saw some upsets. We saw LNG be dominant like what a lot of people expected. We saw Cloud9 have a dominant game, which was really great to see if you're an NA fan. We also saw some disappointments. We saw some interesting meta picks and what teams seem to be prioritizing. Obviously, this may have spoilers, so if you haven't seen day one, do make sure you check it out, because obviously I'm going to be talking about results. Now, so this, in a previous video, I did a recap. Make sure you check that one out as well. This is going to be my day two predictions. Now, first game, of course, we've got is Harmalite versus my boys from Oceana. Peace. Afraid Harmalite is going to be too much for them. Peace really showed that they seem to be a bit lost on the main stage. LNG just dismantled them. I would have hoped to have seen more from them. And it is only one game, so maybe we might see better from them. But Harmalite, I think, are a very well-oiled team. They do play a bit slow for my liking, but obviously they're still a very good team. They've got Chovy, they've got Deft, who is playing. I think he actually played the best out of anyone on Harmalite yesterday, which is something that you would like and would like to see if you're a Harmalite fan, because you don't want it to just be Chovy or bust. You want more options. So yeah, Harmalite going to go over Peace in that one. Red Cannons versus LNG. Red were able to take their game yesterday over Infinity, but LNG look like they're going to go undefeated in groups. It just seems like Tarzan and Ale are too much for everyone. They were too much for even a team as quality as Harmalite. So unfortunately, as good of a performance Red Cannons show, my big worry for them in this game is that it seems like Red Cannons rely more on individual expression as opposed to team gameplay, and you're not going to be able to skill check Ale and Tarzan. Even the players in the other lanes like Icon, for example, you're not going to be able to skill check these players like that. So yeah, I can see LNG winning this one pretty comfortably. Next, we have Infinity versus Peace. I think this is, maybe I'm an Oceanic fan, and I think this game is important in the sense of it allows both Infinity and Peace to really showcase their actual skills and how they got there to this tournament and how good they can actually be. I think it's going to be a very, very good game. However, I feel it's going to go Infinity. I'm more than happy to be wrong as an Oceanic fan, but I just think that Peace is a tier below everyone else. Yeah, they haven't shown anything yet to make me see otherwise. Infinity, on the other hand, were able to have some really good early games and to get some leads, and I think if they get a lead like that against Peace don't have the tools to be able to come back. Lastly, of the Group A for the day, we will have, of course, Red Cannons versus Harmalite. Again, just the same as I see the problem that Red faces when they face LNG. I see them having the same problem against Harmalite. You're not going to be able to skill check players like Chovy and Deft, even a player like Morgan, for example. So I can see Harmalite being able to play their game style, play how they want, dictate the pace of the game. Something that has been good to see from Harmalite is that even against a team as quality as LNG, they still were able to dictate the pace and able to play the game style that they wanted. I do have concerns though moving forward that is still the gameplay that they want is still too slow, and teams, better teams when they face in groups, are going to really exploit that. Next, we have Group B. So we have Beyond Gaming versus C9. This is very close. I can see a world where Beyond Gaming beats C9. I can easily see a world where C9 beats Beyond Gaming. I don't know if it's recency bias. I'm leaning towards C9, maybe because of just the performance they had yesterday and the fact Beyond Gaming looked looked a step behind. Yeah, I'm probably going to give this one to C9, given the fact that Beyond Gaming it wasn't a good loss as well. It wasn't like it was a loss where they were ahead and they threw. No loss is obviously good, but at least if it was like that, if they were ahead and they just threw, you could say, well, they should have won that. They just made a silly mistake and they can move forward from that. It looked like they were getting outplayed, and that's something of a concern. Doggo looks like he can be banned out. They really targeted him. They targeted his Draven. They also targeted his Aphelios. And when he was put on the Ezreal, even though he still had some really insane Ezreal Qs, and he was playing out of his mind on Ezreal, it's harder to 1v9 on a champion like Ezreal as opposed to it is like, say, in Aphelios. So hopefully Beyond Gaming drafts better as well. I think the Jarvan pick was not good. As I said, maybe that's my silver analysis. Maybe I don't understand the Jarvan pick as well as the pros do. I just can't see a world where playing Jarvan into a Kennen can be fun. But that's my take anyway. C9, on the other hand, looked very clean. They looked very good. I think that they will be able to potentially neutralize a lot of what Doggo does, given what we saw of them. I actually feel like I flip-flopped. Before the tournament, I actually really rated Beyond Gaming highly, but it was a very disappointing loss, and feel like they've lost a little bit of a shine. So hopefully they can bounce back and show why they are here and why we all rated them so good in the first place. Galatasaray versus Detonation Focus Me. Again, I think this one's very close. This group is very hard to predict just because of how close I think all the teams are. Galatasaray are showing a lot of talent, but at the same time, Detonation Focus Me also showing pretty good performances. Given both teams' performances yesterday, I have to give it to Galatasaray. This obviously changes how I believed the groups were going to rank, but obviously, given that day one went differently than what I expected, I've sort of changed my expectations now. We've seen that Unicorns of Love are not half as strong as we thought they were. We've seen that Galatasaray, for example, are a lot stronger than what we thought they were. Beyond Gaming has some concerns. LNG looks a cut above everyone else. So this is obviously going to impact what I thought the groups was going to go down. And I think Galatasaray wins this game. And the final game of the day will be for potentially the top spot. Beyond Gaming versus Unicorns of Love. Beyond Gaming, I think, should win this one. Unicorns of Love, very, very disappointing. And unless they change their playstyle in a conventional League of Legends game, that will just allow Doggo to just pop off, and I think Doggo and Beyond Gaming will be way too much for Unicorns of Love. Really need to see more from them tomorrow if they are going to even make it to the stage where they can play for best of fives to get out of the playing stage. Last game of the day, we're going to have C9 versus Galatasaray, and I'm going to give this one to C9. I think C9 deserves the benefit of the doubt. I think both teams are very close, but given that C9, they have players like Perks, Sven, even Fudge playing really well, Blabber, Vulcan. You have to give the benefit of doubt to them over the TCL. But said tomorrow, you could easily, the way Galatasaray is playing, you could easily see a world where Galatasaray beats C9. And this game could really affect who comes first and who comes second in the group if the day goes out like this. So that is obviously going to change our group standings. So our group standings after day 2. So is going to be, of course, LNG is going to be at 3-0 with 1 game to play. Red would have to move down, I believe, because they lose both their games. Yes, they would end up 1-2. Harmalite win both their games, so they will move up. So they will end up being now 3-1. They would be done for the tournament. Oh well, for this part of the play-ins anyway. Red would drop down to 1 and 2. Peace, of course, would go to the bottom. Infinity would move up to 4th with their win over them. That would move Infinity to 1 and 2. I don't know. I don't think they do tiebreakers, do they? I believe. I think it's just... Oh, I don't think they do head-to-head. They do tiebreakers, sorry. Of course, Peace is going to be 0 and 3, and looking like they are going to be the first team to be eliminated from Group A. Galatasaray would move to 2nd at 3-1, with C9 of course topping the group at 3-0 and looking poised to make it out first. Then of course we are going to have coming in Beyond Gaming is going to be in a bit of trouble at 1 and 2, playing against Detonation Focus Me, looking for that third spot. That's what they would be playing for if the day went out like this. And of course, Unicorns of Love would move to 0 and 3. Well, there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. Do you think I am right? Do you think I'm wrong? What would you change? Yeah, really interesting. Great thing about Worlds is you can make so many predictions and so many of them be wrong, and it's really exciting when they're wrong, because often we pick very safely. We don't often pick for upsets. So when upsets do occur, it's always fun, and it's always great to see. But always stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you next time.